Hi, friends. Welcome back to Mr. Happy Story. Let's get started.
Hansel and Gretel, a story of bravery.
Once upon a time, in a small cottage near a deep forest, lived two brave siblings named Hansel and Gretel. Their family was very poor, and there was often very little to eat. One night, Hansel overheard a plan to leave them in the woods because there wasn't enough food for everyone. Hansel whispered to Gretel, "Don't worry, sister. I have a plan to keep us safe." He filled his pockets with small white pebbles that glowed like stars under the moon. The next morning, the family walked deep into the forest. As they walked, Hansel lagged behind, dropping a shiny pebble every few steps. He made sure the trail was clear and easy to follow. When the sun began to set and they found themselves alone, Gretel started to cry, but Hansel took her hand and said, "Look, Gretel, the pebbles are shining." Following the trail of white stones, the children found their way back out of the woods. When they reached their cottage, their father let out a cry of joy. He had been very sad to leave them and felt terrible. He gathered them into his arms and promised they would never be parted again. For a while, things were better, but soon the food ran out once more. The parents led the children even deeper into the forest the next day. This time, Hansel hadn't been able to gather pebbles, so he used crumbs from his small piece of bread. But when they tried to find their way back, the crumbs were gone. "The birds have eaten them all," Gretel cried. They were truly lost, and the forest grew darker and colder. After walking for a long time, the children saw a beautiful white bird. It led them to a clearing where the most amazing house stood. It wasn't made of wood or stone. It was made of gingerbread, cakes, and sparkling sugar. "I'll eat a piece of the roof," Hansel laughed, breaking off a chunk of chocolate. Gretel nibbled on a window made of clear lemon candy. Suddenly, the door creaked open and an old woman stepped out. She looked kind at first, wearing a tall hat and leaning on a cane. "Oh, you dear children, come inside and stay with me. I have plenty of pancakes and apples." Hansel and Gretel followed her, not knowing that she was actually a wicked witch who loved to trap children. The next morning, the witch showed her true colors. She locked Hansel in a small cage in the garden to fatten him up. Every day, she asked him to stick out his finger so she could feel if he was plump enough. But Hansel was clever. He found a thin chicken bone and held that out instead. Because the witch couldn't see well, she thought he was still too thin. Gretel had to work hard in the kitchen, cooking giant meals for the witch. One day, the witch grew impatient and decided she wouldn't wait any longer. "Gretel, check the oven to see if it's hot enough," she snapped. Gretel knew the witch intended to push her in, so she stayed calm and used her bravery to think of a trick. "I don't know how to check it," Gretel said bravely. "The opening is too small." The witch huffed and puffed. "Silly girl, the door is plenty big. Look, I can even get my head in." As the witch leaned forward to show her, Gretel gave her one giant push. The witch tumbled into the oven, and Gretel quickly shut the heavy iron door. Gretel rushed to the garden and unlocked Hansel's cage. "We are free, Hansel! The witch is gone!" she cried. They hugged each other tightly, happy to be safe. Before leaving, they explored the candy house and found chests filled with shimmering pearls and gold coins. They filled their pockets, ready to find their way home. On their journey back, they reached a wide river with no bridge. A kind, giant white duck swam toward them. Hansel and Gretel climbed onto the soft back of the duck, and it gently carried them across the sparkling blue water. They knew they were close to home now, as the trees began to look familiar once again. Finally, they saw their cottage. They ran as fast as they could and burst through the door. Their father was overjoyed to see them, as he had spent every day wishing for their return. With the treasure they brought, they never went hungry again. Hansel and Gretel had used their bravery and wits to find their way back to a life of happiness.